All right, today is February 8th, 2024, and we have officially started recording.
All right, I'm calling this meeting to order. It is 7:02. We have two absences. So Allison is not here and Kelsey is not here. All right, we have no citizens. So we will move on to our agenda items. The first one, consider approval of minutes for the January 11th, 2024 meeting and take appropriate action.
I was just reskimming them. I read them the other day, but they can't be emailed, so I'll move to.
All right, David moves to approve or accept, yeah.
I'll second.
And Lee seconds, all in favor? Aye, all opposed? All right. Motion passed. And then Allison normally does our trustee report, but she's not here. So if anybody else has come across any interesting library or bookish things of late, they'd like to share.
Do you have it?
Oh, the floor.
Is everyone up to date on the AI controversy in publishing?
Yes, that they're using authors' works to like teach the AI. And it's causing they're accusing like copyright infringement.
They're also using news reports and creating fiction based off those news reports and not crediting or
nice.
providing correct information.
Nice.
So that is going to provide some upheaval in the publishing industry.
I don't think it's scary to me. And
As if we don't have enough to be worried about.
Anything else?
There's a North Texas Teen Book Festival happening in April over at the Toyota Music Factory in Irving.
Shannon will be attending the Educators Day.
They're taking volunteers.
I attended a few years ago and it was a lot of fun. I got to see R.L. Stein, which was a personal victory.
Yeah.
But it's a huge event that's really well done and put together.
You said it's in April?
Yeah, it's like April 26th and 27th. Looks like it's gonna be fun.
I knew that I had heard about this, but I couldn't remember where, so I did a quick search, and it's further than I thought. Actually, the anti-book ban movement. California has a new law, anti-book bans. Washington State introducing an anti-book ban. Same with New York State and Illinois.
Wow.
So there's a lot of pushback now.
Yeah.
you don't hear quite as much about it as you did there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a problem for a while. I think it's calming down.
Yeah, just.
All right. That was really interesting thing.
The North Texas Teen Book Festival.
Book festival. I was writing lit. Those are two different things. Okay. But I guess the youths might say their books are lit or fire or whatever. That this book slaps.
Is that youth literacy? Is that what it is? Literacy?
This book is lit.
Yeah.
No, I think now we would say this book slaps, right? Or it's mid. I don't know. This book's kind of mid. Uh-huh. You gotta keep up.
I know,
Or
I
you
know.
get left behind.
No, I don't
I'm
anymore.
on the back half of the century. Anything anymore?
I deal with 4-year-olds. I don't have to keep it.
I have tweens, so I do.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you do, you do.
I will in the future. I have a 6-year-old.
All right, let's look over the patron feedback.
Not that much at all.
Got too many pages. There we go.
Number 6, location. Did you reach out to them, and ask about that? No,
No.
okay.
So one that's just like 9, I like the location.
No, it just says location. That's all it says. So I was just curious about that, sorry.
Mangas mentioned twice.
Mhm. I like how they have books for school. That's nice.
I like the idea of the need a break from work from home.
Yeah.
So come here to work and
And,
presumably here.
you know, if you're here in the daytime, you see people that
Yeah.
are obviously working that come and bring their stuff and they do wanna change of environment, you know.
The only thing that would concern me would be if I have to go use the restroom and leave my stuff behind, am I gonna find it when I come back? So,
Oh,
then, you know,
but it's been busier during the daytime when I've been up here than I predicted, you know, and I was telling some of the people I talked to about the little project of mine, and they said, we're so glad to hear that they're busy. You know, because there's a perception that people aren't using.
The libraries, they are, though.
In the
So
public.
lots of people here during the day.
Mhm, That's easy.
Yeah, and we've definitely noticed an uptick, I think since the beginning of the year, and once school started again, people have been coming and during the day, for sure.
Right.
do you have door trackers?
Yes, we do.
Do you publish them anywhere?
Yeah, so our annual report has it,
Mhm.
and we report it every month to the city.
Mhm.
So where the city posts our stats, I know they do, it's there. What's it up? So it was well over 100,000 last year, if I remember the stats right, for the last fiscal year.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and it also helps us see trends too. We report it actually every single day. We get the door count, so we can
Yeah.
tell what days are busiest.
Yeah, there's some really popular seating choices downstairs to work from. Like if you get here early, you get the chair that faces the lake. It's been very hot and I see people watching that seat, waiting for people to.
That's funny.
I had my internet go out a couple of months ago and I actually had to come up here because it was gonna be out for hours. And I actually just went over there to the far side over there. It's a quiet area.
Right.
And I've heard that table on is it the balcony that has the electricity that was been run through it, hopefully that'll get some use once it's.
Is that the thing that you were talking about? Did that finally get put in?
That's there.
It looks really cool.
It looks really good. You can see it when you stand on the top of the stairs that go down. Look, it's really pretty. And it's shaded most of the day,
Mhm.
so. In the spring, I wonder if we'll get a lot of use.
Probably.
Okay, anything anybody has gotten from in the wild? All right, moving on. 2045 document, does anybody have any updates?
I guess, would that be mine?
Is any- Yeah,
It looks intimidating. It's a little long. It should be in your material.
It was on the bottom,
Um,
unless someone is missing one.
Yeah.
I think I am missing.
Yes.
Well, let me just start. Some of this I won't, you know, I'll just let y'all look at, but a couple of just reflections so far on, I have been able to get hold of districts. School district was difficult to get hold of and the Chamber of Commerce was difficult to get hold of. But I managed to do all that before the meeting this week. And the providers, the Dallas College and Texas Workforce have been extremely responsive, you know, and very eager to work with us. Just a couple of, you know, it looks more complicated than I think where we'll end up if we do anything. Because I think it boils down to us playing the role of clearinghouse or information distribution, rather than providing, having classes here or involving the staff very much or having to have a lot of volunteers or anything. Because they do see, everybody I talked to did see the library. This is a part of the library's mission to promote adult literacy or just education, expand adult education. opportunities in the community. So they're all, you know, the providers and the people that where programs might be housed all thought there was a need. And so, you know, just, I wanted to start out with the simple and then tell you some of the things I ran into. I just see it like, in my vision, if we do anything, the staff involvement would probably be maybe quarterly updates of links on on the website, you know, kind of. And then the brochure development using the providers, public information people to help with that and probably do the heavy lifting on it. That we could have for events or on the table. So I'll start out with the school district. Some of the reason they were hard to get hold of is because your email gets blocked. You can't get through their system. And so I messaged a friend on Facebook and had her email me, and then I could email her back. But I did track down the office that tracks dropouts, and I was a little sad because we used to have a full-blown program on that. But they have a couple of people that they could only go year to year. You know, they don't have like a big database of their kids that they've lost. They have who they lost last year, and so it would be real labor intensive to ask them to pull all that up. But they said they do run a program for the kids that haven't passed the test, that's the only reason they haven't graduated. They do that 4 times a year. It's a 3-week tutoring and then retest program. They do refer kids who like get out in the workforce and then decide, oh God, I really need a high school diploma to keep this job or move forward. And if they only like a few credits, they will work with their home campus, and they have a online credit recovery that has to be supervised, but the kids can come in the evening and pick up the 2 or 3 if it's a manageable amount. The ones that have more credits to work with, they refer to Dallas College to the GED program or to the work preparation programs there. And we used to have our own GED program at one time. So they definitely thought, though, there were students who would not want to work with the college because they were like burned out on school. But if we offered that through workforce or someplace, you know, they would probably take advantage of it. And so it's part of our role might just be a referral, you know, like I say, a clearinghouse and referral kind of operation, and not necessarily offering the classes per se. But I did put the contact people in here just for the library staff to have record of that. And they want to find out if we end up doing anything. The Dallas College and Workforce were extremely responsive and would like next time, if y'all decide at some point to move forward with things, probably on any kind of brochure development or links on our website for adult ed, would want a staff member instead of me to be interacting with them as a board member. And I agree with that. And I don't mind going along, but somebody that actually has some authority probably should be in on those conversations. And we met by teams, and it's like the head gal for the Dallas area for Texas Workforce, and the gal at Monica Stansberry is the one at Dallas College who operates all of the adult ed for the whole system, not just for Brookhaven. But they were intrigued that we were so close to the Brookhaven campus and thought that there could be a really symbiotic relationship there, working together. But they do offer a lot. And they offer GD for everything's free because it's Labor Department money. Their ESL classes are Labor Department money. Their GED program is Labor Department. And then they'll go to employers, places of work, and work with their employees on the manuals, the directions, the safety. They'll use their materials to raise the literacy level of the workers on materials that they are required to read. But they will go to their workplace and do that, and they won't mix those programs with the general public. they'll tailor it directly to the business.
That's a great, I mean, that's
It's
great idea.
a lot of money out there.
Mhm.
And so that's why I say I'm feeling better about us not having to, I'm not sure we really have to spend much money or staff time to promote programs that would really raise up people in the community.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there, and they're very eager to interact. They said they could come to programs where we thought we might have a lot of adults milling around. Like I thought about the dang Santa and cookies. They would have set up a table and just said, adult education work advancement opportunities. And anytime we had where we thought they said our ESL class would be a great place for them to either come
Yeah.
present some night or.
I think it really comes down to what is the role
Yeah.
of the.
Of the library.
Of the library
Yeah.
in this whole
It-
item, right? We can't run the program.
No,
No,
no, we know
Can't
that.
host the classes necessarily, but you can certainly be the conduit.
And that's
to-
where it boiled down to me.
Great
It just became clearer and clearer as I talked to people is we would just be
It sounds
like I say, a
like,
clearinghouse.
yeah, it sounds like our role is gonna be more one of having information, because this is a place for gathering information in general, right?
Yes.
Of having the information available for people who are coming and seeking it.
Right.
So putting out brochures on the stands, having like links to things on the library website in a place that makes sense. I mean, if you're talking about, these are all, we're talking about people who struggle with reading and you're asking them to,
Well, I've
Right.
come to also,
Right.
this hit me this afternoon, and it's not in my report, that we probably ought to call it adult ed rather than literacy.
oh, yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
Because there's a little bit of an insult to the literacy
Mhm.
thing. And people won't
Mhm.
gravitate to things
They're embarrassed.
because they don't want to
Mhm.
admit that they're having problems reading.
Sure.
So, and I think there's a lot of libraries that have adult ed.
Have you done any
spots on
comparisons across some of the larger libraries in the area, like?
Well, I
West Coast
talked,
Study Community Library?
Dallas, Library started their own program.
Did you find out how they did that or,
Well, a lot of money,
well, yeah,
But they have their own adult, but of course, a lot of people offer ESL. That's because that's such a high demand in this area. But in terms of the GED programs and the other literacy programs, I guess they just train, it sounds like they just train their own people and use volunteers and what Rachel told me, the workforce person, is that it's kind of spotty and a little bit hit and miss depending on who the director is and how much turnover there is and how volunteer dependent it is. You know, but I didn't check with Carrollton. I don't know if they have anything, but I did look at some library websites and just in searching library adult literacy and there are several like that Huntsville one, and although theirs kind of fell apart because it was too volunteer dependent. They do have places on their website that talk about adult education opportunities. So that's just kind of an aha that I had. The chamber, I finally got hold of them. They're very interested and think their employers would be really interested in programs that would help the literacy level of their employees. And so there are a couple of things I talked to Megan about. Her name's Megan Holloway. And she was a teacher at Cougar, English teacher. Everybody, Monica was an English teacher, Megan was an English, so they're all like, oh, literacy, kind of jumping on that. But she said she thinks they really would be interested. They have some opportunities where people could go and present. They have 2 meetings a month, but you only get 3 minutes to talk. But in the workplace in the Dallas College, people said they would go to anything like that, and maybe a library representative, just so, she said she could cut us breaks on whatever costs there were if the library were involved because it's a city organization. And we're one of the 3 cities now. It used to have their own chamber. Now we're a part of MetroCrest with Addison and Carrollton. And so she said, presentation would be welcome at those. They're on the first and third Wednesday of every month, and they're at a local restaurant, so they're real informal. And then she said on June 13th, they have an expo that people could set up a table and offer the training or the educational opportunities to employers. And then they have a weekly newsletter that you can buy ads in to say, we're launching connections for adult education as a library, if we want to go there. And she said, because we're a city facility organization, she could probably drop the non-member cost for the ads in the weekly. So anyway, that's, I haven't talked to Aspire again, and that came up because they don't get their federal grant until summer. And that's the old LIFT, literacy.
Yeah.
Yep, that literacy, whatever. It's been around forever, that works with adult literacy. And they have a program that Workforce doesn't cover, and it's for people that read below a 4th or 5th grade level. And there's some pre-testing to get the federal programs, either at Brookhaven or through Workforce. There's the only real requirement for an employee or a student is pre and post testing. So they do assess their literacy level. And then sometimes they just say, here's the information about Aspire, because right now your reading level isn't high enough to be able to benefit from the GED program. But they cost because they don't have their grant in place, but they're getting a grant from the Labor Department this summer. And so I didn't even call her again because we don't want anything that's going to cost anybody anything.
So through Dallas College, then their HSC, I guess they call it not GED anymore, but high school equivalency preparation program, that is free to the general public?
Part of it is free. If they go into the work training programs, it costs them some. But because it's all funded by the Workforce funds all of theirs, so it's got all the Labor Department money behind it. And it's just for those basic literacy, the GD, the basic stuff that they offer, the ESL. Their ESL is free because they offer it through Workforce. MetroCrest Services, which is our United Way agency, I saw on their website, because I volunteer there some, that they were going to start offering GED and ESL. And they're using Workforce in Dallas College. And they're offering the ESL classes at their new facility out on Belen and Josie. And then they're sending the GED people to Dallas College.
It sounds like if we were to do any programs here, we'd be duplicating things that are already in the area and that are functioning and serving people well. And so I think as far as action for us goes on this one, is it's just having the information available to people who might come in looking for it.
Yeah, being able to compile the information, have it available,
Yeah.
and even promoting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said they could kind of even talk to us, staff, whoever would end up with somebody asking questions about the best way to refer people.
Right.
Like the nitty gritty on what you need to get to the Dallas College program.
I also think if we could obtain the information about literacy rates across Farmers Branch, that could be really good information. And there could be an organized campaign, word of mouth, outreach, to really push to get folks signed up for the program. Because I think if we just have it on hand at the library,
Nobody will see that there's.
Well, I wonder if it wouldn't be a good thing to tie in some way to summer reading, that if parents are already bringing their kids up here to the different events and to get books and those kinds of things, just having it out, if that wouldn't encourage.
Yeah, that's where you're promoting it,
Right.
even subtly.
Yes.
Yeah.
right? It's there as they walk through the door.
Uh-huh.
Not sure the
Yeah.
best way to find that out.
The literacy rates, if you know how many, I mean, it's not always high school diploma. You
Yeah.
could not have a high school diploma and be literate. I'm not sure, but I think that would be good information because the more literate our community is, I think it's gonna just uplift everybody.
Well, yeah, there's a whole thing about like, just, I don't know what the stats are anymore, but just the word disparity in kids of different, coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds of how many words they hear by 5, depending on their socioeconomic status. And so when you're bringing up the literacy of the parents, you're kind of like by default, bringing up the literacy of the children who are in that home because they're hearing more words, more books are being read, like there's more, yeah. There's more front loading happening for them that's not, that wasn't happening before.
And then Leah, when, on this line, thinking back to CFB, I know they were thinking of like helping their high school graduates or the ones that haven't graduated and stuff. But maybe is there a way we could get with them and try to help them be able to put things on, like I'm thinking like at our school, we do the back to school nights. And you're having these parents coming in with their little ones.
Mhm.
How literate are they? And
Yeah.
then as they're coming in and signing up their kids or doing back to school events and stuff like that, having some of those people there to, hey, your kid's coming to school, and because I know there's I mean, not just, all the schools, there's lots of parents that, they have little ones and they don't read or write themselves, and
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, I see, just a lot of partnership.
yeah.
Partnering with the school district, partnering with the chamber, partnering with these, the community college, that's old word, Dallas College. And, the, workforce people.
Yeah.
Because they've got the funds and the mission to deliver the services, just some communication. I don't see it all the time, maybe quarterly, after it gets rolling to update links or communication
there's
back and
enough.
forth between the
Yeah.
staff about when it would be a good time to maybe have a table there and with the school district, when it would be a good.
Because it's a case we don't need to reinvent the wheel, because I think they got the wheel really going
Oh,
well.
yeah. And-
But I was even thinking when you first brought it up, is like, thinking if somebody asked me, where could I get help as learning it to read as an adult, I'd go, I don't have a clue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if I don't have a clue and I'm in the field of education, it's pretty sad, but,
Yeah.
so, be go to the library and ask
Well, I've
them.
learned a lot, because
Mhm.
back when I was involved in the programs, Lyft was like one of the main places you went. I don't think Workforce had all the programs that they had, when I was in my reading career, working there. So there's a lot more available than there used to be, I think, because employers are finding that a higher skill level of literacy and comprehension is necessary for safety, for advancement, for being able to read technical manuals, because everything's so much more technically oriented than it used to be. And again, the contact, Katie at the school district said, these kids are getting out there and they're finding that dropped out and are finding they can't advance. They're not employable.
You mean when the teachers told them you might need to know this for the future, they should have paid attention?
Yeah.
But I've never used the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
I thought, I'll diverge and say there was a funny thing on Facebook today that said, I'll never need to calculate the speed of a plane between here and here and how long it would take. And then I had this Taylor Swift in her plane trying to get from and this kid trying to figure out whether or not she could make it. But no, I do think their realization, I think the workforces and the work demands are changed so much that the higher level of skill, kids think they can go out there and raise a family and make a living on a minimum wage job that McDonald's or whatever not need to be able to do. And I'm not knocking McDonald's at all, but if you get a step ahead of that, the demands are pretty high on their academic skills. So Again, I see kind of a clearinghouse role
I think you're right.
that may not, require, I'm trying to protect you guys. It may not require a lot of staff involvement, but might require some of the public information people
Organizing it.
organize and,
Yeah.
and communication about
Mhm.
calendar events and it could be mutually beneficial because if the community college people being as close, if the students find out about us, there could be increased library usage from those. And I think even
If they're
employers.
community, if they're at the community college, but not a resident of Farmers Branch, can they get a library card to here or?
Wouldn't that would be a tech share? Does the Dallas College have a library on site?
Oh, they have yeah.
If they have an on-site library, they can get a tech share card.
Okay.
It's a reciprocal agreement that they can come here and use our library.
Mhm.
It's limited, but they can use it.
Yeah.
But if they knew about that, even some of the events, like if they have young children, because a lot of the Dallas College students are returning to the workforce or deciding they better get some more education after they've been out for a while. You know, it could also be a conduit for them to bring their kids to the children's programs that we have in place. So anyway, I see kind of a yin and a yang with it, but not tons of having to put it together ourselves.
Mhm. Yep.
Where I am there, for people with disabilities, I forgot to put that in here. There's the, oh gosh, oh, I've got it in my notes, and I forgot to include it. But even a physical disability or whatever, they have some special programs, education programs that do accommodations. Whereas these programs that I'm telling you about at Dallas College and other places really don't have, if you have a learning disability or
They don't.
They really don't
accommodate for learning
accommodate.
differences.
they don't accommodate,
Yeah.
they don't assess that and they don't accommodate it.
Okay. Anybody else have updates on their section of the 345? No?
We
Okay.
gave our opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else
Nope,
to-
it's all booked up, so.
Well, I mean, the only thing you could really do is reach out to the developer and find out what space they have that they'd be willing to, but they're gonna want the city to buy it back.
Yeah.
And I don't think the city is gonna be interested in buying back any space.
It's set, I'm quite sure it's set for development. It has its plan, it has its
Yeah.
future. The only real option would be to get with some of those local businesses
Yeah.
and see if they'd be willing to tie in for something like that. But if we're talking about something 10, maybe 15 years out, maybe 5 years out.
It's probably best to wait. I would probably wait until the neighborhood is all built out and its ownership of the neighborhood is transferred from the developer to the HOA and then go that way. Because they may be willing to the HOA might be more willing to let us put a drop box somewhere inside the neighborhood
Right.
than a developer might be.
Depending on the HOA, that's the vote. The homeowners,
Mhm.
They would make a decision.
And I can't imagine that homeowners wouldn't want that. I would want it.
Yeah.
Right, rather than drive all.
Drive all the way, I
drop
mean,
book up on it,
All the
drop
way
off
over
the
here,
neighborhood.
but yeah,
Oh, I know, I get that, but
But yeah,
you're
no.
also crossing two highways in some cases.
yes, no, true, yeah.
So,
There are several businesses that surround the neighborhood. There's 2 daycare schools in the front of the neighborhood.
Mm,
And then on the side, there's like a chiropractor's office, donut shop, little fitness place, a little locker would go right there.
mhm,
Go
If
really great.
they
daycare
would-
place.
yeah.
The daycare, yeah,
Realistically.
if they would be open.
So in that one, you just have to figure out who, most of those businesses don't own, they're leasing land or leasing buildings. So you'd have to figure out who the commercial agent is and get their permission to put that down there. Okay, all right. Then let's move on to movie night subcommittee. Lee, that's you again.
I was joking with my husband that they're kind of really sick of me tonight, but I give all the credit to Allison. She is so creative. Y'all were so blessed to have her marketing
Mhm.
Yeah.
skills on this. And she's kind of quiet, you know, but
Mhm.
she has great ideas. So we we set up a little meeting with just the two of us, and then we pulled Ryan off of whatever she was doing, we pulled her in, just for calendar purposes more than anything. And the first thing we discovered is the library really has a lot of programming set
Mhm.
up this spring.
And we also have a lot of elections coming up.
And the
too, so
elections, yeah,
between
and
those
I
two
talked
things-
on that other issue, I talked about how we didn't really have a lot of flexibility with facilities because of all the roles we play in the community like elections. So there just wasn't a good weekend that wasn't like the Saturday before Easter or Mother's Day or something. That
Mhm,
would not
yeah.
have flown. And those, even at those.
Well, and then you
had-
have May-December,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then the issues for the schools got less and less relevant the
Mhm.
closer we got to the end of the school
Year, yep, agree.
So what we talked about was being a part of the kickoff for the summer reading program. And Allison came up with the theme of the Summer of Kindness, still using the movie we wanted to.
Is the
Um,
theme, what is the summer theme? Is that it?
We don't have it set yet.
Okay.
There is a standardized theme that a lot of libraries use, and I think it's something about adventure people get here. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I don't know that we will necessarily follow that. We tend to go off the beaten path a little bit for our themes. But I mean, that would be really cool if we could somehow tie in the theme for this with our summer reading theme, but we haven't decided yet.
Okay,
Anyway, we decided, like, they kick off on, look at the
June first.
June 1st. And that we do the movie in the afternoon. And
What day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we usually do our kickoff in the morning between 10 and 12. So it's
Okay.
usually just the morning thing. So if we do the movie in the afternoon, it would basically be prolonging our kickoff and having a full day of
Kickoff things,
Festivity,
yeah.
yeah.
okay.
right. And the movie lends itself to, they talked about maybe vendors, Ryan was gonna look into that, like
Yeah.
having ice cream or.
Yeah, just something that people pay to.
Well, you could get Steel City Pops has a good, cart that they can bring out,
Okay.
that you can do. There was a cart that came to our school for staff appreciation last year, and theirs were really good too. I can find out what those are, but it's
Yeah, that would
popsicles.
be good. Yeah.
And then there's always the Kona ice
There's
truck.
always a ton of ice. There's also the ice cream truck that the city uses frequently too. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, there are definitely a couple options.
I know they have some that come out to the dog park when they do events over there.
Mhm.
They have like people that sell dog related things.
How cute.
So, because we face, ATV faces them and so on, when they have events, we can see them all set up.
Mhm.
So,
And we tried to pull the dog thing into a little
Yeah.
bit. And thought the donation could be donations to the
The
adoption
animal
center.
shelter.
They have,
They have a lot, they have an Amazon wish
right,
list.
they have an Amazon wish list, they have all kinds of
That's
needs
kind of tough
there.
for.
But you could
an entry
print,
fee.
well, I mean, it's things like even, like they're grateful even for old towels from your house.
So you would want to list them in the.
You would want to
promotion,
list in the
saying,
promotion, these are some of these acceptable donation
All that
items, yeah.
wouldn't necessarily have to be on June first, that could be just a part of the.
And it doesn't have to be necessarily an entry fee to come in to see the movie, but just people love to donate to shelters, especially animal
Mhm.
shelters.
Once that movie has such a heavy overlay of emotions, I think that's where Allison went with the kindness.
Mhm.
Kind of theme for our event. And that going a little bit through the summer with her scavenger hunt idea. To then, that would last more than just at the library that day or whatever, but she has a little list of, she started out on this other list of things they could do throughout the summer reading program on their own that would be in conjunction with the kindness theme or with inside and outside activities. She was trying to think about some outdoor things to make the inside out be more literal. Yes. And it really is clever. So these were some of her
I
ideas.
like these. These are fun.
And they could, we thought they could take a certain amount of time, like maybe to the end of the summer reading
Yeah.
program, to do some of these and maybe add some, y'all might have some ideas.
No,
to
these
add.
are great, especially with there being 7, and not to get all Phineas and Ferb on everybody, but like, there's like 7 weeks of summer vacation.
What's
So
the rest of it?
I can't. I can't. My kids could. I can't. But, this is like, if you checked off one of these a week, like
Right.
that's something that, you know, and it gets, especially like, it gets into July and you run out of things to do. So.
When they have outdoor activities, she has the check out a book about kindness,
Mhm.
the seed library she's got in here, thanking people. Try something new. So I really liked her ideas about
Mhm.
that.
No, these are great.
What you could donate to a local charity,
Mhm.
besides whatever we collect for the
Mhm.
thing. And she has great ideas about how to publicize it on the first page of the handout. Because that's her thing. You know, she's a marketing person. So I kind of like that waiting till summer and making a big event out of y'all's.
Yeah.
kickoff. And you don't have to pick up the themes for your summer reading necessarily, but this could just be a thread that is an auxiliary theme.
Mhm.
And the movie sequel comes out in July.
Yes.
So another thing we could kind of play during the presentation of the movie is, you know, get caught up on your emotions before the sequel. Yeah, remember, yeah, get, refresh your memories of the characters.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is about memories.
Yeah, it is, yeah, it's a lot about memories, so,
I don't know.
and I noticed that the sequel comes out,
Wanted to make
in
me laugh.
July, I think.
Good timing.
Well, and I
You've
like
seen
the
this
idea of doing it with summer reading, because there are
Yes.
some kids that, you know, summer reading is one thing, but they want more.
Yeah.
Whereas this could be adding on to it, and some people
Mm-hmm.
that, or some of the adults, when the kids are summer reading, might go, oh, well, look, this is some good ideas too.
And some of the prize ideas, because we thought when they complete this, there could be some kind of prize. Were, you know, like she said, maybe everybody gets a little something that finishes it, or we talked about in the meeting, like a day pass to the frog pond, see if we could get them to donate.
Well, they usually put, I don't know if you've reached out for the, I don't know how far you've gotten on your summer.
Well,
reading.
We just started reaching out.
But in the past, except last year, there wasn't one and my kids were really upset about that. But in the past, there has been a frog pond token or like free day pass in there for when you, I don't know, finish your first bookmark or 2 bookmarks or whatever it was. So,
That would be really cute. To be able to offer that. I wonder for the scavenger hunt, if we should have a means to check them off, like have a little kind of edit the form a bit, just to have a check box so people can actually check them off.
And
Yeah.
Maybe put the date, you know, yeah, accountability.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
That, or if you're publicizing it on Facebook or anything, they could maybe post
Oh,
pictures
yeah, they could
of what
tag,
they've done. They
make a
could tag it.
tag.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You know, like, you know,
Hashtag
so
summer of
you
kindness.
know, if you're planning a
FB
plan,
Summer of Kindness.
you know,
I think, I was gonna say, I think one thing to consider is to make sure that, the scavenger hunt doesn't, overlap with the summer reading tasks
Yeah.
for the kiddos.
Well, we could always incorporate, I mean, we've done things, we usually do the bookmarks
Right.
and you complete the different challenges on the bookmarks. We could always have, one of the challenges as, you know.
What if you
the
made,
Scavenger hunt.
well, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what if you
Yeah,
made
so they
this one of the
supplement it.
bookmarks?
Oh, that could be cute.
This way it's like built in, it all works together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we take this format or these ideas and you make it the bookmark. And
Well, but they kind of want their challenges to be more about the books, don't you? I don't know.
not always, because one of the bookmarks is, yeah,
it's like.
one of
more
the
than one
bookmarks is
Oh,
coming to 3 events. So like a story time or a craft thing or whatever, like
Okay.
that's a bookmark.
Yeah, yeah, we do different activities too. Yeah, the events, we've done, I mean, watch a movie, read a book, and listen to an audiobook.
book.
So we've done
Mhm.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's one bookmark that's like, watch a movie, read a book, listen to an audiobook. And then like maybe it's read a fiction book and a nonfiction book. There's like 4 or 5 things that were on it.
Mhm.
And that's when that like everyone in your family can do that one.
Yeah. But I like your point that it should complement and
Yeah.
not conflict with what you already have planned.
Yeah, but this would be, I like these. We could cut that or like make it so that it fits on one of the bookmarks. So maybe it's just like 4 or 5 things instead of 7.
Mhm.
Yeah, or we could do 2 bookmarks.
Mhm.
Because you have some about different genre, you know, probably on your bookmarks, you know.
Yeah, there is one always that's like, there's one that's to read it's like read a nonfiction and read I don't know, there is one about reading different genres.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've changed them over the years for sure, but we've had really specific, like read 3 books from this particular genre at work.
Mhm.
Just fun.
One was like read a book with a blue cover on it one year. It was,
Read a
and so
book
then I had to
about
find a book
school.
with a blue cover.
Yeah, sometimes they're more complicated.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I had to be more intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, I do a lot of reading on like my phone and my Kindle. My Kindle's black and white, so I don't ever know if the cover's blue.
Whole bunch of blue over there.
Look at the blue.
That's just on that little bit there that I can
There's
see.
quite a bit that are blue, but I'm just saying like, there's a way, some of these are already on bookmarks that exist. So we can kind of create our own Summer of Kindness one that has 4 or 5 of these, because that's about how much space there is on them. And that way it's just another bookmark that they're picking up as they go through the big, long thing of bookmarks.
Yeah, and if they fill out the bookmark, that's one additional entry into the grand prize drawing.
Oh, okay.
Plus whatever prizes we also give them.
Yeah.
To be determined.
Well, let me ask you this. I just thought I had, if it extends into the afternoon, do they need to be fed? Do they need to bring a lunch? Do they need?
So I think
I
you
mean, I'm
get people who will
practical.
come right at 9, because they have itty bitties who have been up since 6 a.m. And then, and then they'll go home and they'll do like lunch and nap and like come back.
Okay.
I don't think it's something where people will stay the whole day. I think people will come, they'll do stuff, or they'll come, they'll go to the park and picnic and then come back. Like, I don't,
We can have like a small snack, like what, we have the popcorn.
yeah,
Mhm.
for the movie.
Well, yeah, for the movie.
We
And
can
I
have-
think it will be good, because I think some people may not notice the movie and stuff. If they're here for summer reading sign up, which always draws a huge crowd,
It
they might
does.
see it and go, oh, cool, we can come back and see a movie.
Mhm.
No matter how much we publicize, they may not
They might still.
miss it, especially.
Yeah, and most people don't stay at the kickoff the entire time either.
No, they
They'll
come and
stop by,
they-
they'll do what they do.
And then they go.
Yeah.
Most people stay like 30 minutes to an hour, I would say.
Mhm.
They don't stay the whole time.
But do y'all like having it that same day?
I like it. I mean,
Yeah, I like this plan. This is great. I mean, as staff members.
Be one less time to have to come up.
I think it's good. My concern is with actual staffing here at the library. If we have like 8 people working the summer reading kickoff, we might not have the ability to provide as much staff members to help out with the movie. Aside from like help setting up and stuff like that, because we'll have to turn the room over and get it prepared for the movie. So that's my concern with staffing, just having available people to help out. But I
As
think,
long as there's like one person that can help us like press play,
yeah,
I think
Yeah,
that
we can
we
make
can do everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. that sounds good.
Mhm.
I think we can make that work.
Yeah. We gotta be realistic, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like this idea too, because it's on a day that is a big day for us here at the library, but it also provides support too for a program to make it even bigger and better. So I think it's a win-win for everyone. I think we'll probably get a bigger turnout too than if we were to try a movie on a
Right.
weeknight.
Mhm.
Or on a random Saturday.
Mhm.
You
Right.
know, I think the random Saturdays were a little disconcerting, you know, just any old Saturday. you know,
Yeah.
you- Maybe not.
Special Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. So what do we need to do?
Take appropriate action. I mean, I guess our action would be, what is it, to accept the
Subcommittee's plan
plan
for
for
the,
the event.
the summer of kindness movie night
Yeah,
on June first.
yeah. Their plan as, yeah, to
As
approve the
presented.
plan as presented. Yes, that's our action item.
There you go. You got it.
It. Group. So. I can't, somebody has to move.
Move that we,
Somebody move.
I move that we accept the subcommittee's suggestions for these, or plan for the Summer of Kindness night, movie night on June 1st.
June 1st.
And, as planned, and move forward with the plan as stated in their presentation.
I second.
All right, Ashley seconds. All in favor?
And Ashley will make it sound nice.
All opposed? Okay, so
I didn't think I should make the motion.
you presented. I don't know if I'm not allowed to make motions, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, I think Robert's rule is.
I think Robert's Rules of Order do not
Would
allow
not
me
like
to
you.
make motions.
Yeah. I think
Because
you're
then it
right.
becomes a little dictatorial. All right, it's your turn, Heather.
I guess the biggest thing on updates is the online calendar that's coming on, the new online.
So the new
calendar
online calendar,
is
yeah.
coming next month. It's very close.
It is. It has
Final
been a
setup is going
process. Yes, we've been having weekly meetings for the past, I think, 4 or 5 weeks with our project manager, with our new vendor. And I think it's gonna be really good, but there's just so much configuration and everything that is involved before we can launch it. But we are getting there, so we're hoping to launch in March.
So you may notice if you keep up with the online calendar, it's only gonna have probably about half of March online because that's when, somewhere in there is when we're planning to move over to the new one. Although it may look a little bare, there's programming there, it's just not up there to be seen yet. I think you guys are aware of the Spanish as a second language course that's been going on. Had some really good feedback, so we are going to redo the course. Or we had to find a new teacher, so we are waiting on background checks with the city, and then we'll have a new instructor for that to pick up.
That was one of the big concerns prior to even doing this, was being able to maintain stability for that
Mhm.
teacher. So they did it one time and now they're out.
That teacher came back and said she could do it via Zoom, but she could no longer do in-person courses. So we have someone else who has stepped up and asked to do it. He is a retired ESL teacher from Dallas.
Okay,
And she had recommended him.
Yes, she recommended him go to the position.
okay.
Somewhat local,
Louisville, I believe.
not terribly local. but-
It took him about 25 minutes to get here.
Yeah, well, Louisville's not exactly next door, but
It's not super far either.
right.
I mean, it's not an hour drive.
It's still like
Yeah, I
that.
was
I
gonna
feel like that just shows my commitment.
It's just a concern that somebody might feel like I'm dragging myself all the way across
Mhm.
town to do this for,
Yeah.
now, I don't want to do it again. So now we're out that person as well the next time around.
I just don't know if we'll be able to keep it going long-term, really. Because there's a lot involved to running this every, 10, however often we decide to repeat it. So I'm still testing it out, though. Good.
I mean, maybe it's something that only gets offered twice a year.
Yeah,
That would be a great idea,
yeah.
as long as the mayor is interested in that.
But I think you just say he's very big on respecting staff members' time, right? So you would just say that our staff can't handle this. And there's certain times of the year where there's more going on here than others. So like January, February is kind of a slower time, other than on years where we have lots of elections. Like this year's not a good example, but that would be a good time to do a little 10-week course. And then it's a little quiet like October, November, really. And so you could just offer it twice a year for 10 weeks and you just It either works for your schedule as a participant or it doesn't, because if it's not sustainable for you as staff members, then it's not a sustainable program at all.
Very true.
And if you really want to do it, then you'll do what you can to make it work.
You're saying the people who
Yeah,
attend.
people
yeah.
want to, I mean, if you really want to attend, you're gonna, and you think this will be where you want, you're gonna try to make it work.
I think it's perfectly acceptable to run it twice a year. And then that way you don't end up with volunteer burnout because they're driving down here, and running this course 3-4 times a year.
Yeah, people might be more willing to teach it if it was a manageable amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you saw the art on the wall, the tiny art show was a very big success. And we had 40 attendees who came and I told you 112 participants, yeah, or packets picked up at least. So.
How many were returned versus how many were handed out? Like, what was the percentage
40 something back. So
of the 100 and something? That's not
So
bad.
we have 1, 2, 4 panels full
Mhm.
out there. Each panel has like 20 art.
Okay.
So a big turnout.
It's a pretty good turnout.
Mhm.
The beginning of March is the annual bookmark contest.
Mhm.
So it's time to start that up again.
And the theme is going to be out of this world, is that correct? I think we can.
I think
say
that would go with
So
it'll be on display with the eclipse.
Yes, so. it's
Oh,
going to
I
be
like that.
eclipse related.
Figured the same thing from the previous bookmarks that are now lined up over here, gonna frame the winners and all that jazz, keep that moving.
I think that works. And next since we've started we're slowly starting our summer reading program alignment. Though I do have to mention that the first half of summer reading may be affected. So we are working out how to best address the issue with voting.
Mhm.
Because the city has requested to reserve the hub from the end of May through June 15th for voting. As long as voting is not going on, even with the equipment inside, we are allowed to use the room. But if there's any voting going on, we will not be allowed to use the room
I
at
don't
all.
think there's voting on June 1st. I don't believe.
No, it starts June 3rd.
Yeah, so we should.
It's a squeaker.
I know. Yes.
So the equipment will be in there, provided there are runoffs. The equipment will be in there,
There likely will be.
but they're movable
For
and
the
able.
city election, do you think?
Well,
It's
it will be for the
primary.
primary.
The primary is in May.
The primary runoffs in May, because that will have been,
in June.
yeah, because March 4th is our primaries,
Yeah.
5th
So it's.
is our March, so they'll do, those runoffs will happen in May, 'cause it's always like 2 months later.
Okay.
And then is it April or May
The
is,
joint election is May 4th
yeah,
and the.
That's fun.
For the
May
joint
4th
election
with
is.
you. when you go to vote.
Uh-huh.
So that's the city, all the city stuff.
So we
Well,
might not
Yeah.
even have that option.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't
Because,
know.
You don't
right now, but we
know.
have to
Depends on
plan.
the city, because the
Yes,
school
they do.
district does the ranks.
We have
so
to
they don't
plan
run
with
it.
the idea that it will be, because
Yeah.
we have no option.
I've only seen that, because it's places 3 and 5, right? Yes, for city council. And I've only seen people's names submitted for District 5.
Okay.
And it's 3 people. So there could potentially be a runoff there, depending on how the voting shakes out.
And I'm not sure on this one, were you guys in the loop on the changes with the computer system?
The print management system.
I
Yes,
knew you were.
yes,
gonna do-
yeah, Trevor had mentioned it before he left. That was one of his things of, that you can pay from your phone with a credit card or
So-
something like that.
Right now, we have a print management system, and if you want to make copies or anything like that, you have to go to the desk and pay. The new system was finally approved for the city. Purchase plan has been put in place, where they are going to, install a new print management system, allow mobile printing, so you can from your
phone.
your phone, your laptop, any of that, pay online. Also, the little coin
box.
slot ones will turn into self-service kiosks that use credit card. So, we finally have approval with the city to make that purchase.
Well, that whole bank will then go away, right?
Yes, the plan that Trevor had in place was to move that against this wall where the meeting rooms are, because there is electricity and everything already
There.
provided there. And it will make the, it's called a data drop, where they put the internet lines and
Mhm.
all that. Will be easier to do in the wall.
Then in the middle of the floor.
Yes.
Just a
And then
little
he was talking about bringing the DVDs back upstairs. Is that still the plan?
As of right now, I think so.
Okay.
But then we'll have to determine what to do with that space downstairs,
Downstairs.
how to best utilize that space. But we turned in the final ticket today to get the city process in the purchase order. Once that purchase order is finished, it's a 4-month process to completion. So the new system is at.
So you're talking like 6 months?
I have no idea how long it takes the city to
Do
do a PO. They have all the information for it. They have the quotes and everything. They just have to actually do
Put
it.
it out.
Yes. So,
Hopefully before October.
yes, the goal is to get it done before the end of the fiscal year. I would prefer it be done before summer reading, but I am not exactly hopeful.
That way you could be surprised and pleasantly surprised when it comes early.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was everything on my list. If you guys have anything you would like updates on, please let me know.
But nobody has to react to this. But I'm in the 2 writing classes. And the last time we met, I'm not one of the fabulously talented writers in there, but there are some fabulously talented writers in there. And they've been going for a year, so they're even more fabulously talented. Well, the instructor brought just a little construction paper stapled literary publication from a library, where the people in the writing class had put together some of their poetry and their essays. And they had a little bit of artwork, like, digitized the, if you could do the tiny art or the book box or something. And they had like published, but it was like stapled. It was a real low rent kind of thing. And she said, since you're on the board, just drop that idea out there, that if we did all the work in the class, the people in the class, would there be a market or an interest to publish a little literary journal of our writing?
I mean, we do have the local authors nook downstairs. I mean, so I think it would be a great addition to that.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be like anything you sold or did any, but they're good, some of those gals, and I'm getting better, but I wouldn't put myself in their category. And she's a great instructor. So anyway, that may be something that.
It may be more than they want to spend, but there are for fairly cheap book binders
Uh-huh.
that you can get for less than $50.
Yeah.
That you can continually use and rebind the books, put spines on them, things, and you don't have to staple.
Yeah, all of it together, yeah. But anyway, that was just an idea that came up, and they said, well, toss it out and see if there'd be an interest to being self-published and offer it in the library.
Yeah, and it's good publicity too, to let people know that such a group exists here.
Oh, I know,
as well.
I was just,
Yeah.
I was frankly kind of stunned at how
Really.
good they are and how much fun those classes are. They really are.
It sounds like you have a good time in there. I mean, I
Oh
can
my
just always
God.
hear the group laughing.
The only thing we'd have to curb is we all have a similar political bent, and some of the writings are a little tilted that way. So we'd have to do some of the more poetic things, to balance that out.
So I know in February you guys do blind date with a book. But I was listening to KXT when I was driving over here, and they were talking about how on Valentine's Day they're going to be playing like anti-love songs. So it could be fun in the future in February to like put out books that are like anti-romance, not saying like violence, but they were going more like their anti-love song was like, so instead of playing like love songs on Valentine's Day, they're gonna play like songs about heartbreak and loss.
Yeah, break 'em.
Yeah,
Breakup.
breakup ballads and things. So I thought that could be a fun vent to go on
That's when you
with
get.
books.
Yeah, you get the mobile station that has like two sides to it. This side's the good side,
The
this side's the bad
Yeah.
side.
Right? The two
Pick your
sides of
side.
love. Yes, I don't know. I do love Blind Date with a
That's kind
book, but just as like another to play off of your like anti-hero
Mhm.
book picks.
Yeah.
It could be kind of another fun.
Or the blind date with the book cheater guide. You know, completely a blind date, you kind of peek, okay, I don't like this one, that's one.
I was wondering where you're going with cheater.
Yeah. Well, you know, you cheat.
Stacy's like, where you going, Stacy? Where's this?
My mind does not go that way. Or you could even do it as if it, like the return blind dates. And I can have those, like, when someone comes in, did you like it? Yes or no? And the people, I didn't like this one, and
Oh,
maybe
yeah, like, yeah, books that
the blind date didn't go anywhere.
go so great. Or like second
I
date,
broke up with
I
my
don't know.
blind date book.
Yeah. I don't know.
I stood them up.
We used to have comment cards in the blind dates with the books to see if you found your match or not.
Oh,
Oh, that would have been entertaining.
Yeah.
I bet people didn't fill them out though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that could be a fun thing to post,
Yeah.
like little reviews of the book.
Mhm.
Are those out yet, the blind date with the book?
They are.
Okay, I'm gonna have to like peruse on my way out.
You can always try to cheat and peek at the end.
All right. That was my random thought.
I think we have enough ideas.
Where's their
I'll quit
shortage?
bringing ideas.
Okay, so I guess future items. Probably we need to circle back to all of the things that are on this.
Yeah.
But the details, maybe firming up details for the movie night.
Yeah.
And then, oops, that's the wrong one. I have March 7th as our next meeting. And then do we want to just go ahead and set April? It is already set for the 11th of April would be the second Thursday.
That works for me.
Any big conflicts? Nope. Great.
April or conferences.
Oh, is there like a TLA, ALA,
ALA, PLA.
whatever
all
they
the
are?
leaderships. I leave on the 13th for the leadership summit. Okay. TLA.
That's right. I forget that all of your LAs are like April, May, June.
Mm-hmm.
Busy.
year this year.
PLA is the 3rd. Okay. So TLA, I believe, is the last week. Because it goes into,
It goes into May.
yes, I think so. And ALA is June.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so that works for,
So the 11th, okay.
that works.
How do y'all keep up with all that? TLA, PLA?
I have 3 calendars on my phone. Association, Texas Library Association, Public Library Association. And we all have to have active memberships and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And,
Newsletters and emails and everything
Notifications.
else. Yep.
We're regularly asked, are we part of any of the boards that they have available, any of the roundtable discussions? Do we want to present at those meetings?
I get those all the time.
I'm gonna say, I never saw that email. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so April 11th works for you guys. It matters, I think, more. But it works.
I think, yeah, because it looks like first week is PLA and then the third week is PLA, so.
Okay,
That middle week seems to be the
perfect.
best option.
All right, then let's do that. Any other things? If you think of a thing,
Mhm.
I think you have until the 3rd or 4th of April to get it.
It's 8 days. It's 8 days.
8 days, yeah. So, April 1st, you have until April Fool's Day, which is more than 8 days, but I think it's 8 business days, a bit like that.
Big businesses.
Well, I may, if those people want to talk, I may be reaching out to one of y'all to see if you want to be in on a Teams meeting or something.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cause I'm a nobody.
To them.
True.
That is true.
All
And then,
right.
wait,
wanna
before
keep
we
it that
adjourn,
way.
so
Okay.
I keep seeing this one, that first one on the comments, when it talks about there's already interested in doing things and they can never attend. Did anybody ask why they could never attend? I just felt sorry for, I mean, when I kept seeing it, I started feeling sorry for that poor person. Is there a reason? There's all these things I want to attend, but I'm actually gonna attend.
But I never actually got to attend them.
Yeah, it's like, why not?
Right. Is it because of the library schedule or is
Their
it?
schedule
Or
or
is it their
transportation or-
schedule, or is it like their are they like me and they go, oh, that looks fun, and then they don't write it down
Yeah.
and they forget that they
Yeah.
forgot that it happened?
I just
Yeah.
was kind of, it's like, oh.
Because they have 3 calendars on their phone.
They spend 6 hours in their car every week
Fully
driving people
intended
to
to
play
do the
soccer.
tiny art show and I saw.
I
it
have
next
not
time.
reached out, but that was just done in the last week. so
Okay, yeah, I
can
saw
do
that one. Yeah, I was just curious, because it's just like, wow, Because it's like, if somebody's interested, it's like, dang, you don't get to do it.
Oh, yeah, like what's
Stopping them?
prohibiting you?
Why are they
Yeah.
not actually intending?
Yeah. Is there something we can change, or is it just their own personal
I mean, at
situation?
least they're interested, but.
For potentially for next time, the new calendaring system that you're getting,
Yeah.
putting in place, does it have a list of, neat and exciting features that the public might want to know about that we can become aware of, or is it just more on your side?
Some
That
of
is
the
cool.
features, it's going to allow registration for multiple classes. So like if we do the Spanish class, you can register for all of them at once. It will have meeting room booking capabilities.
Oh,
So that you can book these rooms.
That might solve the problem, that maybe they weren't able to sign up for.
Yeah, and it's just more visually appealing too. I mean, it's nicer, it's cleaner. I think it'll make, from an admin side, it'll make our lives easier too, because we've had some issues with our current calendar. So I think this will just streamline it all and make it so much easier for us too.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking forward to that.
And they're just continuing the current one.
Yeah, they're just continuing our current calendar. So we had no choice but to find another.
Sure.
Well, I will say,
I'm
like,
glad.
the current calendar, when you clicked on something to find out more information, it was not
Friendly.
friendly or helpful. You were like, this was not the more information I needed.
I just was curious if it had like the online subscription kind of, like you're registered to multiple
like
calendars.
an
right?
FSS or
Can you
whatever,
subscribe
whatever
to
that
this
is.
one as well, so that the general population
So you
got
could-
their
oh, yeah.
subscribe to the
You get a
Manske library
calendar and then it
calendar?
goes.
And it's
Yeah.
already
Oh, thank
in your
God.
Yeah.
And
I
I
love
not-
it so much.
Where you
not
just
a-
subscribe to it and it just pops up.
It
that thing?
automatically pops
Yeah.
up into your calendar.
Under,
whatever
yeah,
it
no, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I get my kids everywhere they need to be on time.
is. Mhm.
Right.
Because if I had to transfer all of the calendars to one place, we would never go anywhere.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if it had that feature.
that's great.
It does, yeah.
So that's a great
So
feature
we
to
might need to promote
publicize.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that you can subscribe to the library calendar.
Yes.
And it would be cool, I don't know if you have this much control over it, but if you could choose like our school's calendar, I can choose what things I want it to follow.
Yes.
Mhm.
So it doesn't, it only
Categorization.
follows, yes, the categories of things that apply to me. So if you could,
Yes.
yes, So you could follow just children's programming
Well,
or just,
I don't know about the follow, but when you're looking at it, it does let you click on the side, adult, it lets you. hit
Okay.
filter out, yeah.
Okay.
It has the filtering options.
All right.
I'm not sure about that in the RSS feed,
if you can,
if you can just see that, but I know when you're looking at the page, you can filter.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, that's at least helpful.
And you can also, whereas the current calendar can't print it on one page, that if you don't, if you're not here to pick up this calendar,
Yeah.
that one online does have a print feature that will print everything on
I
one
do need to
page.
get that calendar before I leave too.
I know, I still like paper.
I do too. It's because we're teachers, Stacy. My headmaster tried to go to an all digital calendar. He's the same age that I am. Like, it's not an age thing. It is just like he's not a teacher by nature. Like, he went to seminary and is like a priest and teaches things, but he's not like, it's just, he took a different route to education. And so he doesn't understand the educator's love for paper.
We get a weekly newsletter and it's all there. It's like, if I don't remember what it is, I've got to find the right newsletter online. and I'm
Because why would you need general paper?
So after some.
It's important.
Brian, it
It
does
gets covered over by the next one.
Exactly.
filter and subscribe to.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry, I missed the name.
You can filter and subscribe. Okay, we need to adjourn, because now we're just chit chatting. Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
all right, David
8:17.
motions.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. All right, approved. We are adjourned at 8:18.
And the recording has officially stopped.